What's good in the HUD YouTube? This is Crazy Samurai 71 here bringing another video. So today I wanted to do a video on E3 for Nintendo. Now Nintendo didn't do a press conference this year or anything like that. Usually they do the the big video that they always do or whatever. The digital event that they always do. That's what it was. Whatever. The thing is that this year they chose to show off stuff through the Nintendo Treehouse, which they normally do, but like they started there rather than doing the digital event that they tend to do. So that's interesting to note. So I wanted to focus on, for this video, The Legend of Zelda game that's coming out next year, and it's going to be called Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And it's a really cool looking game. It's really exciting. Me personally, I'm beyond excited for this game. It looks so cool. Definitely very different, but still has similarities to what we've seen in the past with Legend of Zelda games. But this one definitely tends to draw away from the typical pattern with being very unique and creative and more open world, and it's supposed to be like super huge, probably the biggest Legend of Zelda game ever, and there's so much to do. I've been watching a lot of the Nintendo Treehouse stuff, which is exciting. One of the things that I saw recently was that there's this whole entire ruins aspect with the ruins with the Sheikah tablet, Sheikah Slate or whatever, where the Sheikah Slate, interacts with these shrines or whatever, and allows you to gain certain abilities through the shrines. And there's hundreds of shrines. Now, not all of them are going to give you abilities or ruins, but there will be a good number of them that will give you some. And one of the cool things was, like, they had like magnesis, which is like you have like magnetic abilities and all that. Like, that's pretty cool. And the thing is that there's so much to do, it looks like, in this game. And I mean, from what we've seen so far, I mean, it looks cool. And they're only showing off one area of the game, and that area is a big like, I mean, if they're spending so much time on just one area, I can't imagine how big this game is going to be, because I'm sure it's going to be big. One thing that I'm glad, though, is that they're keeping the general system consistent, so it's not like there isn't any level stuff, which is good. I'm so happy that it's more about, like, oh, you find stuff, and it's just natural progression. It feels so nice. It feels so great and smooth, and it looks like it's going to be a really fun game. And if you're a Legend of Zelda fan, it's definitely worth picking up. Even if you're not, though, still recommend it, because it seems like it keeps a lot of consistencies with the regular games and stuff, but it also feels very different and very original, which is something that's so important that I actually really applaud them for doing, because it takes a lot of what we've seen before, but it does it in much broader senses and shows how much more can be done. There's also the influence of technology, which is really fascinating, because obviously Legend of Zelda games tend to not focus towards technology and tend to focus towards other things. And it's just fascinating to see that. Does it mean we're going to get like modern stuff? Not necessarily, but I mean, it's stuff that's fitting for their world. What I'm hoping for is obviously other things as well. This game, there's also jumping for once. Let's just say jumping, it doesn't happen ever. There's a bunch of different things that are really cool. Different outfits, tons of weapons. You can swap out weapons. All this stuff. It's so fascinating. I mean, the trailer, sure. That trailer looked amazing, and believe me, I love the trailer, and the voices, the music, it all looks great. The gameplay looks great, and there's a lot of things that have been explained through the Nintendo Direct. If you guys haven't been watching it, definitely recommend watching it if you're a Nintendo fan and you want to learn more. One thing that's great about it that they're even emphasizing is the fact that it isn't one of those directs where like it's going to spoil characters or spoil the story. It's more so a direct where it's going to show off abilities, how to use things, how to do certain things, but not necessarily anything that's like, oh, it's going to ruin the story if you learn this stuff. Like, no, most of this stuff is not going to be an issue. It should be stuff that you should actually be intrigued with and interested in and wanting to watch and learn more about. I'll say this again, really worth it. I'll say that. And even if you don't, watch it after the fact. If you don't have the time to watch it when it's happening, definitely spend the time and just look it over. It's definitely a very big game, but it's also a game that apparently they really emphasize that like you can have your own playing style. Like maybe you'll want to focus on doing certain things in the game, while another person might focus differently, and it's all about these multiple playing styles. Does that mean that the worlds change depending on who's playing and all that other stuff? Will they change in regard to weather? They change in regard to the time of day. I mean, there's all those influences. There's other influences, influences like where you are, all this stuff. I mean, you can climb, you can do all sorts of stuff. That it's just really fascinating, and it's very, very interesting to see what this game holds and what things are kept intact from previous installments and what things are brand new that are original to this and only this, that look so cool and look so amazing. And if you're a Legend of Zelda fan, definitely worth checking it out. Definitely a game that I'll tell you this much right now, I really want it really badly because I think it's going to be really great, and people are expecting it to be great. I really do mean that. It's great, and it's awesome. I have to say that again. So if you're a Legend of Zelda fan and you're interested in picking up this game and you've been considering it, definitely recommend looking around maybe at Nintendo Trio stuff and some other stuff, because that's going to give you some information up front, give you some ideas as to how you may want to play yourself, what kind of items you might be looking for, how you might go about playing your game, and all that other stuff as well, just to get a sense of things, because I really do think that it's a really cool game, it looks like, and it's different from previous installments in so many different ways, but it's worth really just understanding how everything is going to work in this game and how different it feels, but at the same time still has some similarities to things we've seen in the past, and people should keep that in mind when they're choosing to play when they're playing it themselves. So so that's about it for me personally. As you can tell, I really do think this game is going to be cool. I think it's going to be very exciting. It comes out next year, so that's going to be great, sometime close to like March or so that's good, and it looks great. It looks really great, and I'm excited, and I hope you guys are too. So please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Again, I'm Crazy Samurai 71, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Also, tell me guys what you guys think of it. Are you excited for this game, or is this a game you can pass on? I want to know. Please leave those comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So until then, guys, I'm Crazy Samurai 71 again, and goodbye.